So I'm looking to start a little bit of a discussion here. These are my two bikes. The one on the right is my 2004 Honda RC51, the Nikki Hayden edition. And on the left is my 2019 Husqvarna 701 Supermoto. Now, I find these bikes to be the best mix for me. One, because they are just sheer fun, right? Every time I take them out, I have a smile on my face. They've got, first they look amazing, right? They both have a great amount of power. I mean, obviously the 701 is much less than the RC51, but for what it is, it's a wheelie machine. It's not a high speed machine, but it's just a lot of fun. It's fun to flick around. It's fun to wheelie. I'm just always out there just enjoying myself, right? So I've had the Husqvarna since new, since 2019. Right now it's 2023, right? So I've had it for a few years. I bought it new. The RC51, I am the second and fifth owner of this bike. I bought it in 06. I went 13 years without it. I replaced it shortly with an SP1, a 2001. But I always wanted the Nikki back again. I stumbled upon my old bike, same VIN, was without it for 13 years, and now it's back in my life. I've had it for 2 years now. I've actually owned it longer the second time around than I did the first time. So I've got just a little bit of dilemma. Are these the last two bikes that I'll have as my regular bikes? And what I mean by that is, so last year I was considering replacing the 701. So I bought a KTM RC8R. I think it was a 2012. Super low mile bike, 2,000 miles. Drove super far away to go get it. Loved the bike, right? It was an amazing bike. I wasn't disappointed with the purchase, but when it came down to getting rid of the 701 in favor of the RC8R, I know that sounds like a weird comparison, right? Because the RC8R would definitely beat this bike out, right? In my opinion, but I already had the RC51, right? So I ended up having two bikes that were sport bikes, or, you know, if I sold the 701, I would have two super bikes of different eras, both V-twin, and I was just afraid I was gonna really miss the different riding position and the style of the 701. So I enjoyed the RC8R for a full summer, and I let it go. I never thought that I would do that. Just like these two bikes, the RC8R, great power, a lot of fun. I could, sit in my garage and just stare at it, right? Just like these two, which I catch myself doing, just staring at these bikes. So I sold the RC8R. I miss it, but I don't regret it. I think not only would I miss selling my 701, I think I'd regret it. Partly because I bought that bike new, the 701. Obviously a 701, much easier to replace if I wanted to go back and get another one. They've changed up the color combos. I really love this white, yellow, and blue. Now they're more into the grays and darker colors. They've kind of lost the blue, lost the white. So if I ever sold this one and similar to this was looking to put it back in my life, I'd probably buy this exact same bike back, the same year, the same color scheme. So my question is there something I'm missing? I will likely continue to buy a third bike every summer, just to experiment. I feel like there are too many bikes that I will die and not have ridden, and that keeps me up at night. So I want to continue riding new and different and things like that. I'm not a rich man, so I don't see myself retaining a third bike going forward. I'd like to stick to these 2 bikes. And just for info, I do have a 2015 Grom, Honda Grom that I bought brand new. And I did pick up this winter a Yamaha BW200. That's not street legal. It's just kind of for our lake cabin, dirt roads. Took that one out on the snow this winter, had a ball, but I'm not putting those bikes in the same category. So what I'm looking at is sheer fun bikes, right? The Grom is fun, the BW is fun. Neither one of them have the looks of these 2 bikes, right? So I don't put them in the same category. They don't have the power of these 2 bikes. And I know there are a handful, I mean, especially the age of the RC51, so many more bikes that have way more power now. And the power is great, but one of the things that I didn't like about that RC8R was the heat. And that being a 2012, that one had like 175 horse. Now we're talking, you know, most of the premier bikes are over 200 horse now, right? So the heat on bikes is really getting up there, and you're losing a lot of that street ability, right? They are single focused for the track, and you know, you hear on a lot of the reviews, hey, this is not a street bike, this is not a commuter. So that's why I like these 2 bikes, is that I can take it out from my garage for 20 minutes in a pair of jeans. I don't have to put, you know, a leather suit on. I can still enjoy it, you know, around the neighborhood, around the city. I can take them to work, you know, things like that. Obviously they've got good power, not crazy power, but good power, the manageable heat. These 2 I like because they were an obtainable price, right? Now, if I had something like a Ducati V4S, the price of that bike would be the 2 of these combined plus some, right? So I like the price point of these bikes. It allows me to have 2 bikes, 2 different riding styles, things like that, to keep that variety. And I like just that these 2 are kind of iconic, right? Obviously the RC51 is more iconic, but the people who have ridden the Supermoto and know how to ride and have more capability in riding than what I do, they respect this bike, right? I mean, they know what it is, the fun factor that you can get out of this one. You know, it's just if you know what you're looking for, this is just a fun bike, right? So I'm gonna put it in that iconic category. My Grom, the BW200, I wouldn't call those iconic, right? Groms are a ton of fun, even low power, but would not call those iconic. So my question, what am I missing? What other bikes out there, kind of with what I've described, would fit in this category? What would tempt me on getting rid of one of these bikes, right? Even if it was 2 similar bikes, similar to, you know, 2 super bikes, or I doubt it, but 2 Supermotos, you know, or something, you know, cafe or something like that, right? What do you guys think would be a good package to match these? What would be something worth trying out that might tempt me on getting rid of one of these bikes? That's not the goal, is to get rid of one of these bikes, but I just found it interesting that I had wanted to get rid of the Supermoto, had found a great bike, one that I absolutely loved, but I couldn't get myself to get rid of the Supermoto. I don't see myself getting rid of the RC51. If I was gonna get rid of one, I still think the Supermoto would be the one that I would get rid of. I'm gonna continue experimenting with different bikes. The top of my list, probably A little bit unattainable, but I've always wanted to ride an RC30 or an RC45. I'm more obtainable, and the fun factor, an NC30 or an NC35, you know, the 400cc versions of those RC bikes. An NSR 250 seems like it might be worth trying out. MV Agusta Dragster would be something that I'd like to try out for a summer. Maybe replace the Supermoto with a Hypermotard, probably the 1100. Would need to check that out. So just curious what you guys think. Healthy discussion. What am I missing? Thanks.